Well, the new school is an alternative pedagogical form that aims to take place the student at the center of education. The idea is to give the student a key role in the teaching learning process. What is the new school model? This form of teaching is one of the best that can be applied to achieve a quality education. The aim of the new school is to end the traditional teacher-centered master classes so that the fundamental is the student. Thus, they will be part of the learning process, an active part of the learning process. Therefore, it will not only develop knowledge, but also essential qualities to live in society: interest, responsibility, autonomy, creativity, and learning by discovery. This new teaching methodology is characterized primarily by being an active education. In other words, it seeks to train in values and to create more autonomous citizens prepared for solving problems. How does the new school come about? The origin of the new school takes place between the last year of the 19th century and the early 20th century. During this period, it is observed that traditional teaching are obsolete. Are obsolete to the world at the time. One of these forerunners was Dewey, an American psychologist who felt that the student should be placed at the center of education, rather than as simply spectator of the master classes. In addition, he stated that education was mainly social, and that it should ensure the development of the individual. In this sense, the new school is opposed to the mere acquisition of the information and knowledge. It is at this moment we begin to talk about not only about knowledge, but also knowing being and knowing how to do. The latter also was a clear involvement in manipulation and freedom during this learning process. Finally, the child's opinion has a lot to do with it. Specific activities are listening, carried out according to their interests and curiosities. As you can see, it was a revolution that also accompanied the social change that took place at the time. The main characteristic of these methods was that education was based on the psychology of child development, and it is necessary to have a fair image of the child, to treat each according to his ability, to allow the child to give all his own measure. Education should guarantee the child the possibility of living his childhood happily. There is no effective learning that doesn't come from any need or interest of the child. That interest should be considered the starting point of the education. About the school New Pacific Coast, we found that it is a study that is part of the comprehensive development plan for the Pacific Coast, one of the government priority regional plans. As one of its basic educational strategy, this plan proposed to promote the Escuela Nueva program to achieve at the primary level a complete schooling, flexible promotion, and active teaching, and strengthening the ties between school and community.
Learning circles. Learning circles aims to successfully develop one of the components of the decentralization effort, establishing a methodology for in-service training at the local level, where aspects such as attendance to circles, aspects of classroom administration and organization, teacher satisfaction are evaluated, equity in the classroom, and the use of teaching materials. Learning circles are work teams made up of people who carry out their activity in the same area. Together with their coordinator, they meet voluntarily to analyze problems inherent to their activity and develop solutions based on the conception of education as a fundamental right. Learning acceleration model. Acceleration learning is a flexible educational model that serves the foreign population between 10 and 15 years of age that has not been able to complete primary school, allowing students advance several grades in a year and overcome their gap age grade. Is implemented through interdisciplinary projects that place the student as the center of the learning process, making it possible for them to develop basic competencies and recover self-confidence and ability to learn so that can continue in the educational system. The learning acceleration model lasts for 1 school year. During this year, students develop a leveling module that allows reinforcing their performance in reading, writing, and basic mathematical knowledge while becoming familiar with the methodology of the model and seeks interdisciplinary projects. We have an example in Colombia. Colombian legislation has a regulatory environment which in the development of the national constitution seeks to demonstrate the responsibility of the state towards children and young people in terms of generating the necessary condition for their access and permanence in a quality educational system. We have another one. School extra age refers to the existing gap in at least 2 or 3 years between the student age and the expected age to attend a certain grade. For example, a student in 2nd grade is expected to be 7 years old. If she or he is 10 years old or older, she is considered to be an extra age student. Thank you.